Well, the weatherman today predicted very, very high winds, possibly the highest winds we've had all year. And I still wanted to get out on a bike. I wanted to ride it with that new windscreen installed, see if I enjoyed it, if I liked it, or I wanted to change it or modify it or whatever. And of course, the jury's still out on that. I may want to make some new brackets. I haven't decided if I want to lay it back down more. But the first ride out, I got enough riding on it that I know it works, it's fine, it doesn't have a vibration issue, anything that would be annoying. And it actually, I think it improves the look of the bike from the cockpit. But the overall scheme today is the wind was blowing. Today we got the news to start making some little change of plans in the way our life is going to go this winter. Our kids who are putting an extension on their house are going to be spending some time with us and running their business out of our house. I have to convert one of our bedrooms into an office for them. And we didn't know if this was going to happen 6 months from now, a year from now, or now. It's happening now. So the plan is I have to run out to Home Depot and Lowe's and buy some supplies and get a table to make a computer table. But when I get back, I'm sure there'll be enough time for a ride. And even if it's a short ride, I'll get to see how this played out. The new windshield on the Mt09. I'm sure it's not going to be like riding behind a touring bike windshield, but it'll make the bike definitely a little more aerodynamic and maybe blow a little wind off of the person riding it. We'll see. And after the first day of riding and actually going out when the wind was howling today, which makes it even worse, I was pleasantly surprised it really did keep a little bit of breeze off of your face. Now I'm remembering the day, this is an R1 windshield up there, and I'm remembering when I put the other windshield on, it's a little bit higher and it's a double bubble windshield, whatever that means. It really was a little nicer having those extra 2 inches. But one of the things they do with this windshield, they make this similar thing 2 inches higher, if I decide I want to have it. And of course, what happened with the FZR, I kept cracking the windshield because the bodywork is really old on that. And we were doing track days and I got sick of it cracking. I made a carbon fiber windshield, but then when I did the restoration, I bought a brand new one, and so far it hasn't cracked. And we had the smoke windshield when we did this restoration, and I kind of like this one better. It lets the carbon fiber parts that I made that go under the windshield, kind of lets them show when the sun is shining. A nice little addition. But we got a lot of errands to do today. I want to get them all done and hopefully get some time for a ride. Now the day I put this windshield on, I already have thought the idea of making 2 new brackets that would let this lay down, because see, there is a gap, and I think even that would make the aerodynamics a little, make it more aerodynamic, which of course is what I'm looking for. But that was a nice install, relatively straightforward. Couple little things, it's on one of the previous videos, and I think it really did clean up and give a finished look to the front end. And what better thing to start the day with than a hot cup of coffee. You don't think these birds cost a fortune? No wonder they let me deduct them on my income tax. Yeah, they really do. Just try it, see what happens. And the birds never get sick of eating in the cold weather. We have to give them extra seeds. So no matter how hard I try, every morning there's leaves to clean here. It just never goes away. When you want to live in a town of trees, you wind up living in a town of leaves. And if you don't clean them up and they start building up, it's just a mess at some point in time. So what I try to do is a little bit every day, and then I go for a ride. But we got to head out on our errands right now. And it's still pretty nice out on the porch having coffee with there's still some leaves on the trees. Not many, but there's a few right in front of our house. Always nice having our coffee out on a porch in the morning. And Karen, both we enjoy decorating for the holiday season, or Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, you name it. Time for one final cup of coffee here, and we'll be out on the open road, head out to Lowe's and Home Depot. First stop of the day is good old Home Depot. Let's see if they're going to have those folding tables in stock. Well, lucky me, they're now hiring. Wow. How lucky can a boy be? I'm getting in the mood for Christmas already. There's the kind of table I want to get. I want to make the kids an office in the bedroom. I'm not sure what size Karen's going to want, but we'll price these out and see. Now, we already been to Lowe's. They're $10 cheaper in Lowe's, so this is going to make this an easy decision. Basically the same table. One thing they have here, I may need to get some material to make those brackets to lower the windshield. When I do that project, well, they pretty much have everything here, so it's, and I have some scrap at home anyway, so good selection of stuff here in that. So Home Depot was a bust. It's off to Lowe's to get a table. All right, we're back from our errands, and it is time to ride. Still got a nice chunk of the day left to ride. So as a free bonus while we were gone doing our errands, the temperature is now officially in the 40s. Now we're going to go out and see if this little windshield is going to make us roasty, toasty warm. I don't think so. Probably going to be a little improvement, but today will be a good day because the wind is howling out there. I may have to edit out a lot of the sound and do voiceovers. Before I even got the bike started, I realized I'm going to have to edit out the wind noise out of these scenes. I was getting a headache just sitting here editing this stuff. Look at the leaves blowing around in the background there. And you'll see all through the video, the leaves are just blowing and swirling. They're in the road. They were leaves in the radiator when I parked the bike. And it has the look of a perfect day for checking something like a windshield. You almost can't make this up. It's like testing an umbrella on a rainy day. I didn't plan it this way. It just played out this way. Oh, the winds are really blowing. You can't imagine how bad the wind is blowing here. Holy mackerel. Boy, did we ever pick the perfect day to test the windshield. You could not really believe. And I've edited out a lot of the wind noise on a lot of the photography and video. But I left a little bit in there so you could hear. You just can hear it. And you look at some of the scenes and you just see the leaves just blowing across the street like a hurricane. What a windy day this was. Surprisingly enough, this is such a windy day and really cold. I got to test the RC battery in the jacket, and it basically kept me warm. It ran over 2 hours. When I got home, it was still on. So I'm guessing those little RC batteries on the previous video we did it, they work good. Now it's funny, you hear the radar detector going off, and I'm parked, and Even when you're parked on the side of the road, it tells you somebody is coming your way that's shooting radar. Now, later on in the video, I got saved big time. Because you always hear it ahead of time. So it really didn't take me long under the conditions today to realize that little windscreen really does block a lot of the air. Now, also, don't forget, I have the bag with the radar detector that's blocking it too. So the idea is to keep it aerodynamic so you're not sitting in a little tornado while you're sitting on the bike. And I think laying that windshield back down, the more I think about it, I think that's going to be a good thing in the future. Now, it was just 41 degrees when I left the house with the wind blowing, and between the little windscreen and the RC battery on the electric jacket, I really should have taken the electric gloves out of the pouch there too. And as the day went on, I'm convincing myself just laying that windshield back 3/4 of an inch or an inch, the aerodynamics are going to be a lot better. I just think that's going to, and if it doesn't work, the good thing is I can always put the stock brackets back on. And I'm really glad I already have the matching paint, or what I hope is going to be the matching paint, in stock already, because it looks like we're losing the weather very, very quickly here. Every day seems to be getting colder and windier than the day before, and it's going to be time to start working in the shop pretty soon. And my head has been spinning with all the things I want to do to this bike over the winter. These are all going to be on future videos, and we try to post up a video every day. If we don't ride, we work on the bikes. If we don't work on the bikes, we dream about them. Well, it's a long story, but I have so many little things I want to do to this bike and have it all new by springtime. Now, one thing when you have a radar detector, you can always account for the fact you can find places where the bogeys are hiding and you can act accordingly. But the one thing you can't predict is when you get one in transit. And that's where the Valentine really pays big time. And whatever money I've ever paid for that Valentine and for the Screamer, it has paid me back so many times. Because in our area of the country, they're just very indiscriminate about handing out these very expensive tickets, and some of them have points, which makes it even worse. Now, I had already decided by the time I got here that the little addition of the $26 windshield with $9 shipping from China was a good addition to the motorcycle, and it cleaned up the front end of the bike a little bit cosmetically, and it really did have a little bit of benefit making it just making it a little bit more aerodynamic. So actually it worked out to my advantage to have this really windy, cold day to do things. Number one, and of course see that the windshield was not doing anything funky. And I always like to double check myself on that. And a surprise of how well those RC car batteries worked in the Tourmaster jacket. And since I already posted that video, if that interests you, I think that was a couple days ago. So Karen and I have not been able to go to medieval times, basically because we're so, with the COVID and with all the other things, we've never been there, in fact. But it's one of the things on our bucket list. They have live horses running around there, and you have to eat with your hands. They don't give you any utensils. Cool place. And it's no secret how much I enjoyed the year I've spent with the MT09. At a little over 10,000 miles, it's just been as friendly, user-friendly, safe, ABS traction control, all of the good stuff. And I have really enjoyed this motorcycle. I really have. And the worst thing is this bike, because it has such a good quick shifter, has spoiled me every time I ride one of the other bikes in my small collection. I keep looking down at the shifter and wish I had a quick shifter. It adds such a nice dimension of fun to the bike. Even on a day like today, that the wind is blowing in your face, you could just go right through those gears. One of the other pleasant surprises of the MT09 was how comfortable the seat is and how comfortable the ergonomics are for me. And it even got better when I lowered the front end. It just suited me to a T. Now, the ongoing test on the Michelin 5s is we've already got just around 4,000 miles on them, and they're not even showing me the second bar, and I'm guessing we're going to get really, really good mileage out of them. And they are just super sticky tires. They are the stickiest tires I've ever used on the street. And I like to add one bike to my collection every 10 years. I want to have one bike from every 10-year period. And I waited a couple extra years to get this one, and I'm glad I did. This exceeded everything I ever expected from getting this bike. It's exceeded in every way possible. So a day put to good use testing this little windscreen. I think in every way possible it has worked out well. I like the way it looks cosmetically. I like the way it makes the bike a little more aerodynamic, and at some future time and during one of the work sessions I'm going to make some brackets and show how to lay that windscreen down and make it even more aerodynamic. It's a shame the wind was blowing, but we still got a ride in. Nothing stops us from riding. That was really some serious wind. You can see the leaves blowing across the streets. Amazing. And I know most of my friends get sick of me telling them how much I have enjoyed my MT09. Thank you, Karen. It was a wonderful, wonderful birthday present. It fits into my humble collection so well. Once every 10 years. Now, if I live another 9 years, I'm going to get me another bike. But in the meantime, I've had a wonderful, wonderful relationship with motorcycles for over 60 years now. I've enjoyed every one of them. Wonderful memories. And thanks to YouTube, I've been able to share some of those adventures and memories and things from the past, things from the future. And I think we have a great future still ahead of us. I'm really looking forward to the winter, doing some custom work. It'll all be on my channel. Again, I do try to post something every day, and I try to share it all through YouTube. So if you enjoyed the video, I hope you share it with your friends. And of course, I hope, most of all, that we'll see you tomorrow. And thanks again for watching.